Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex review. Today we're going to be going over chapter 14 called Duty, and I'm not going to make an immature joke. We're just going to move past that, okay? Not too much happens in this chapter besides a lot of development in regards to certain characters, certain plot points. The Lee Village is going to get a lot of lore dumping that Boruto has just been keen to for a while now, that the rest of them that unfortunately just have not been. The rest of the world is finding out and catching up to like 3 years of information that Boruto has slowly been figuring out with Sasuke as he's been a rogue ninja. Last chapter, after getting sniped almost and killed by Jura and getting saved by fate, what we talked about a lot, especially after getting that whole introduction to Kashinkoji's Shinjutsu and everything in regards to his future sight, and if Boruto has actually just been a predetermined story from the very beginning, especially in regards to the opening scene that we all know, we've all seen multiple times, of Boruto and Kawaki in their adult forms, ready to actually fight to the death in a destroyed Leaf Village. With the way that the Leaf Village is going, yeah, honestly, they're not too far off from that future. After getting put in some chakra restraint sealing handcuffs that were created by Amato, Boruto is basically put into an interrogation room. We see Ibiki for the first time in forever, so that's always lovely to see a character from the OG series that great for torturing, that doesn't really do too much of the mind jutsu this chapter, but hey, you know, what can you really do about that? It's just a cool cameo. There are 2 more cameos that I'll talk about later that frankly just disgust me, and I'm sure anyone who already knows what I'm talking about will immediately pick up on why that disgusts me. But let's get right into it, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more Boruto content, or in general just many other series that you may read or watch weekly, monthly. Let's get into it, guys. Thank you for watching. One of the coolest things that we really do get to see this chapter is Omnipotence in action. Watching Shikamaru lose his memories in real time is one of the weirdest but most satisfying things too, to see how powerful Ada's ability really is. You can see it having all of those conversations with Boruto during the incident of the Divine Tree people attacking. Shikamaru is literally forgetting things that happened, and the word omnipotence has been wiped from his mind, even though he just talked to Boruto about the whole situation not even, let's say, a day ago. It hasn't even been a full day if you really think about it. So that's how strong Ada is, and despite this, because Shikamaru is still this high 200 IQ monumental character, one of the only real standout people from the OG series that potentially is going to be able to help Boruto, because even his own sensei Konohamaru isn't able to see the weirdness that's going on. So thankfully, with just that small little conversation, even though Shikamaru's memories are being wiped, he's going off of this hunch, and Shikamaru trusts himself, right? He can't trust what he sees and the people around him, but he can trust the hunches that he has. And it's unfortunate that in this moment, because he's going off on a limb here and trusting someone like Boruto, who at this point, he may be the only person besides a couple other people. We'll see Mitsuki may be also on our side later. Sarada has always been on our side from the get-go. We'll see that this connection to Boruto really hampers Shikamaru's not just role in the village as the impromptu Hokage, but also in his friendships. In this chapter, Shikamaru loses contact with Ino. He loses Ino's trust. They don't completely end their friendship, but Shikamaru, who has been using Ino to patch him through to Boruto secretly, doing all these secret conversations. Ino is currently, I mean, Ino-jin wasn't killed, but is still mourning the fact that her son was hurt in this Divine Tree people attack. And as far as the Leaf Village knows, Boruto might either be behind it, he might be a part of it. She doesn't know what to believe at this moment. Sakura just got done healing Ino-jin, the first Sakura cameo I feel like we've had in forever. Thanks to Himamari, Ino-jin wasn't dead, but he very well could have. And Ino's going through this, and it's, as a mother, it's hard to imagine what that does to someone. But in that moment of weakness, Ino drops contact with Shikamaru. She says, I can't be responsible for this anymore. I can't be responsible for what, as far as everyone is concerned, is treason, regardless of how strong this feeling is that Shikamaru has. So yeah, that was a very sad moment to see, of Ino cut contact with Shikamaru when honestly he needed her the most. A 20-year friendship, 2 decades almost of wartime and everything, and it's a hurt child that separates that deep bond, and it's believable. speaking of rash decisions, let's get back into the interrogation a little bit, because the two cameos that I was very much annoyed to see are these two old fucks from the very OG series, the Leaf Village elders, that are, yeah, I would honestly feel pretty confident in saying are primarily responsible for almost every single travesty the Leaf Village has ever incurred in their entire reign. And I cannot believe that these people have either not been lined up against a wall or something like that, especially after World War IV or whatever happened in the Naruto world, the Great Ninja War. 3, 4, Electric Boogaloo, the massacre of the Uchiha clan, co-signing of Danzo, the creation of everything that has happened so far, all of these problems. They've done nothing but cause us pain, and apparently we learned nothing. So if you ever see memes, right, if you ever want to defend Boruto, and you ever see memes of people being like, Naruto became Hokage and did nothing. Oh, there's the panel of Naruto saying there was no reason for him to become Hokage. It's terrible. All I'm saying is Naruto got into office, didn't do shit to change shit about shit. What happened to changing the Hyuga clan? What's happened? Bro, you got lost in the sauce. You got millions of clones and you can't even handle paperwork. But you're telling me that at the very least, the two people that are from the old age that are responsible for so much shit couldn't have just been replaced? Voted out? Even if you want to keep it democratic, you couldn't have had a vote? I have a strong feeling a lot of those people that lost their homes during the Pain Invasion, during the Great Ninja Wars, that had a friend that was an Uchiha that got massacred because it was told to Itachi to do that. You know, like, I don't know what we were thinking here, but there's so many questions that I have in the Naruto Boruto world right now about the Leaf Village in general. This is only one of them. But thankfully, we might actually not be staying in the Leaf Village for very long, contrary to what a lot of Boruto has led you to believe, at least the manga. I know in the anime we go to a lot of different places. There's that one arc in the Hidden Mist Village. I'm sure we go to other places as well. It's definitely a hard criticism of the manga, but most of it takes place in the Leaf Village and or around the Leaf Village in the Land of Fire. But with Shinki, who is revealed to be the brand new Divine Tree person named Ryu, or Ryu, whatever you want to pronounce that as, almost guaranteed that we may be leaving the Leaf Village and heading to the Sand Village, or Boruto may be going over there to see what's going on. Kawaki may be going over there to see what's going on. We may get a traditional mission with like Sarada or something. Either way, Kankuro asks for the Leaf Village's help because Gaara was defeated by the Divine Tree people and Shinki was stolen and turned into a Divine Tree person, as we get at the very end chapter. Which, one thing I'm very happy about is that this can put an end to the Naruto is the Divine Tree person theories. While it was a fun idea, and I understand that this was supposed to be the worst possible future that Kashin Koji has seen, with Naruto trapped in the prison realm and never coming out, and if Kawaki gets eaten or killed, then he's definitely not getting out anytime soon. So it was clear to me, especially with the markings, it was very clear that it looked very much like Shinki, and I'm just glad that we have confirmation on this, because if we would have waited a couple more months to get this reveal, I feel like the community would have collapsed in on itself. Now, during the interrogation, something that I really liked, and something that I've liked throughout all of 2 Blue Vortex, is Boruto's characterization, Boruto's new personality almost. Now that he's been rogue, now that he has had to live on the edge and basically separated from everyone that he knows and loves and has had to live solo, especially now with Sasuke gone, Boruto has developed this new personality where he knows how to negotiate very well. He's a great ninja. I mean, if you really think about it, Boruto represents what ninjas really used to be. These hardcore veteran warriors that have been through hell and have trained through hell and are stronger than most of the people. Even what Boruto says to Kawaki when Boruto fucking humbles Kawaki back at the Leaf Village. He's like, hey, look, you've been neglecting your training. I've been training for the last 2-3 years, hiding from, you know, armed ninja and trying to fight them off, and also training with Sasuke. So Boruto, so much more mature than even his own sensei Konohamaru. I mean, he completely controls the situation. He's like, I'm only going to tell you what you guys need to know. The Divine Tree people are going to be after you people. They're going to be eating specific people. They're, you know, even Amato mentions how they're just intellectually curious creatures, and they're going to chase that intellectual curiosity, which something that I think is very interesting and may lead to developments later. Going off of intellectual curiosity, it means that these Divine Tree people will eventually become more unique, and they will start learning things about themselves. They'll start learning things about emotions and learning what feels right and wrong to them. And if you think about it, all of these people are based off of, at least as far as we've seen, good people. Moegi, Sasuke, questionable. Shinki, these people have the potential to, if they chase this intellectual curiosity, even though sadly it's through eating certain people, they may grow and develop a personality of their own that separates them from the other Divine Tree people. Jorah, the leader of the Divine Tree people, as Boruto confirms, has no original identity. There's no one that was turned into a tree and was based off of Jorah. Jorah is the incarnation of evil, the incarnation of the Divine Tree, the first Divine Tree person that has just been turning other people into other Divine Tree people like him. So Jorah cannot be changed. Jorah is Jorah. He is the Divine Tree and is chasing the Divine Tree's goal. That's all he knows. That's all he needs to know. And even if there is intellectual curiosity or learning about himself, as we see, he's kind of slowly, he's a new being. He's not going to change like the other Divine Tree people potentially can. So that may lead to some developments later. For all now, that's just hearsay. But that is interesting that Jorah is definitively different than the other Divine Tree people, and I think that's important to note. Now, the two elders, despite wanting to leave someone like Orochimaru alive, they are more than willing to say, hey, you know what, give us the information or we'll kill you. Boruto, even after you give us the information, we're gonna kill you anyway because you killed the 7th Hokage, which Boruto reveals, oh, I didn't kill the 7th Hokage. And they're like, Cap, you killed him, and if you didn't, where's he hiding? Boruto, despite having all the power to potentially reveal Kawaki's secret, he doesn't. He made a deal with Shikamaru that it makes more sense to keep Kawaki comfortable because Kawaki can legitimately, he was always a loose cannon, kind of subtly remembers that. He goes, not for nothing, if we disrupt Kawaki's peace, Kawaki's gonna go all out and could destroy the village, which may even potentially be the worst future what we see happen. So Kawaki is somewhat interested in this because even as Ada explains to Kawaki, Boruto's not ratting you out, Kawaki did find Toad from Kashin Koji on Boruto. So Kawaki is aware something is going on. He hasn't been able to figure it out. He knows he's not really strong enough to figure it out. He could probably beat up, the Leaf Village people with his Otsutsuki skin and powers, but Boruto already humbled him once. So even Kawaki has to play specific games to win, right? So even though Boruto is keeping his secret and doing everything he can to keep Kawaki unaware, I think Kawaki is keened into a little bit more than Boruto knows. I mean, Ada is basically telling Kawaki everything, at least everything that he feels he needs to know. Ada is having her own doubts about Kawaki, but that's another time. Thankfully, though, it's not just Shikamaru that has this hunch going off about Boruto. We know Boruto and Mitsuki had that big confrontation a couple chapters ago, and Boruto, without directly saying it, was like, hey, Mitsuki, this guy, has he always been the person that you've looked up to? Has he always been this sun that you're able to base your darkness off of? And Mitsuki, thinking about this, goes, you know what, Kawaki kind of sucks. He's kind of an angsty bastard, which, not for nothing, I love Kawaki. I think he's one of the better written characters in Boruto, but I think it's funny that Mitsuki was ever able to confuse the two characters of Boruto and Kawaki. Kawaki could never be considered a sun that could cast light on the darkness, and Mitsuki knows this, and after that confrontation, even though Mitsuki doesn't know it completely, he is very much subtly able to go off that same hunch that Shikamaru is, take the code that Shikamaru gives him. Mitsuki pretends to attack Boruto and actually releases his handcuffs, tells him where his weapons are, and lets Boruto Flying Thunder God away. But before Boruto does this, and again, this is why I like Boruto's characterization, Boruto, despite treating the Leaf like they are enemies because they're enemies to him, and only giving them the information he needs them to know in order to keep his own side of secrets, he still reminds them, just so you know, you're not my enemy. I'm not coming after you. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to do what I need to do to make sure I solve the plans. And if you guys are with me, awesome. If you're not, peace out. And he dips, which Boruto is, despite playing the role of the fugitive, he's never outright indicating himself as a hostile or violent threat, which is only going to make it harder for people to demonize him and villainize him in the eyes of the people that actually matter and make decisions. Omnipotence is strong, as we see it literally wipe Shikamaru's memory in real time, but it's not strong enough to change people's actual character and what they know is right and wrong and what is the basic foundation of who they are. The only real thing in question that we're left off of, besides knowing that we're basically going to be moving the plot along now that Boruto's out of custody, but one thing that is interesting is how much trouble Shikamaru is going to be in. I mean, they can't directly pin Boruto's loss on Shikamaru, but Shikamaru is the one that let Mitsuki in and let Mitsuki, quote unquote, lose his temper and let Boruto get out. Shikamaru could potentially, I mean, these two elders are apparently more powerful than any kind of democratic process. So if they want to remove Shikamaru as the impromptu Hokage and establish another one, I mean, they've done it before with Danzo and they didn't have great choice last time, but apparently I mean, that's why I would have taken these people out of government by now. And I can't believe they're still fucking alive at this point. Like, they look how old they are. They were old as shit in the original series. They still have 20 more years. God damn. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens next month, guys. I wholeheartedly, truly am enjoying where Two Blue Vortex is going. And we're gonna have to wait and see what this next arc holds for us, because this was kind of the end transitionary portion of this Divine Tree attack. So we may be moving out of the Leaf Village. We may be spending more time in the Leaf Village. Who knows? But what I do know is I'll be here for it. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss any other Boruto videos, let alone any other series you might be reading weekly or monthly. Make sure you check out the main channel if you want to see some more video essay type content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.